So, George, within U.S. set-top box measurement, what do you see as the issue with privacy? Is it an issue with consumers? And if so, how do we overcome it?
Okay. I do think that consumer privacy is an issue that the industry needs to be concerned with. And I think that in order for there to be broad-scale availability of set-top data across a lot of TV operators or pay TV operators, we need to address consumer privacy issues. I think they can be addressed through, first of all, efforts to educate the consumer on the benefits of measurement and what it means to the public in terms of consuming TV advertising, particularly addressable. And second, I also think that education has to extend to the government as well, to our legislative bodies, and that the case be made that there are real benefits to the consumer as these new technologies come to market. I think ultimately, if there is an economic model that makes sense for the industry, for both networks and the cable and the satellite operators and the advertisers, then I think that the industry will work together to address privacy issues.
You mentioned something about the challenge of creating a set-top box business that is affordable and yet profitable. Do you have any ideas of how this can be achieved?
Well, we are currently running profitable services as we speak. I think the economic model varies depending upon what the application is, but we certainly have been able to structure agreements with our set-top partners where they share in the financials and derive a financial benefit, and we as an organization are able to also benefit financially as well. I think importantly, we've been able to do it with services that we feel are affordable to the industry. I think that as time continues as we continue to move forward, we'll see more and more of these economics, if you will, coming to bear on the marketplace. But we have no doubt that financially viable services that benefit both the client as well as the research agency can be developed.
George, what would you say has been the most dramatic change in the media industry in the past 5 years?
To my mind, I think the most dramatic change has really been the emergence of digital platforms. I think that we are just beginning to see the impact that these digital platforms are going to have on television. And it's not just television, but online and mobile as well. We're seeing the emergence of addressable advertising. We're seeing the emergence of interactive advertising. And increasingly, I think we're going to see greater utilization of the guide itself as a platform for advertising. And in fact, our partnership with Rovi, as we move into that in the second half of next year, we're going to be looking to provide measurement services that are much more holistic. So I think that what has changed over the last 5 years with digital is those media platforms that have been able to adapt to digital platforms have continued to thrive. Those platforms that have not been able to convert to digital are going to see a lot of pressure on their business models, particularly local media, be it radio or newspaper.
And what do you see as the future for radio or print?
I think in the print area, clearly the businesses have migrated to digital entities. I think what's going to be particularly important is brand equity. And as the migration has moved from hard copy, if you will, to digital properties, I think those organizations that have a strong brand that is accepted by the consumer will do well. I think it'll be a transition, if you will. I think the same can be said for radio, but I think it's a tougher case, to be honest with you. When you think about all of the options that people have today for audio content, for music content, I think we're going to see greater pressures, if you will, on the radio business.